Welcome to the 55th installment of Talking Ball. And today, I'm going to be talking about the NBA big man revolution. Yes, that's right. I am saying that big men are back in the NBA. And I know that some people, that's an unpopular opinion and something that, people are asking for these back to the basket throwback types like a Shaquille O'Neal. And I think he was the last of his kind in all reality. Yes, there are centers still who don't shoot well, like a DeAndre Jordan, Tyson Chandler, Andre Drummond even. And they're just there to set screens really, maybe get a post-up or two per game, but not really be the focal point of an offense and really provide shot blocking and rebounding. And they're not like a Shaquille O'Neal. But I think the way the NBA is heading is stretch fives. And there's a lot of these young guys who are like that. And the guy who jumps to my mind first, and I certainly think he'd be top of most people's minds, would be Anthony Davis. Now, I know some people may think Karl Towns, he's the rookie, he's the new guy on the scene, but Anthony Davis is the first, and he's only, 21, 22 years old. He's still very, very young. And so the more he plays the center position in his lineups, the better their offense is going to be. And even their defense has been better this year. And that team still needs, a lot of pieces, obviously. But I think if he buys into playing the center position, that's just a great boom for that position as it's going. And I think that he can be a great help to lead this new generation. Now, there's a bunch of other players who I think are also in this new generation. I mentioned Towns, but also from his draft class, Kristaps Porzingis. Everyone knows about him getting lots of hype, as well as Myles Turner. He's really come on playing center, or I guess power forward, depending on how you view Jan Mahimny. But him has allowed Paul George to move back to the 3. He's played much better as a 3 than as a 4, honestly. And they've really taken off a little bit as late. Since Turner's been moved into the starting lineup, he's been averaging 14 points, 7 boards, and around 2 blocks. He's a special player. And he can also shoot threes. Not consistently yet, but he can shoot threes. And I think, so between those 3 guys plus Anthony Davis, that's 4 guys right there. I mentioned Andre Drummond earlier, and a guy like Clint Capella is also similar. Not quite as good, but a similar type player. Then, obviously, DeMarcus Cousins. He's another guy he's a younger center. I mean, people don't realize he's still only 24 years old, I believe. Maybe he just turned 25, but he's still very young. And he started shooting threes this year, really for the first time, and at an extraordinary clip. Yes, he's been playing much more power forward this year, which just shows that, the Kings are not afraid to really try anything. And, yeah, they got to find minutes for Willie CauleyStein, so I understand the intent there. It's just in reality, he's really a center, right? So he's playing power forward, but he's a center, especially in today's NBA, with guys like Draymond Green playing center. Yeah, he's basically, he plays power forward for about most of his minutes, but everyone knows about the killer lineup for Golden State with Iguodala, Barnes, and Green patrolling the front court, and then, of course, the Splash Brothers in the backcourt, and how great of a lineup that is with him as the center. And yeah, he's 6'7", but he's more of the Charles Barkley of today, where he may be shorter in stature, but he's just as talented as a lot of these guys, and he makes up for it with like good positioning and intelligence with his game. Some overseas flavor also in these young centers. I mean, you got from Nikola Vucevic, the offensive center, to Rudy Gobert, the Stifle Tower, and the defense and rebounding you got there. The Nuggets have a pair of centers who are both very young in Nikola Jokic and Yusuf Nurkic. Nurkic hasn't played much this year, but everyone loved him last year. He was talking trash. He was posting guys up. He's much stronger than you would think for a young 20-year-old center, but he's got good post moves, and he's shown an ability to be good on the defensive end, while Jokic has shown an ability to shoot the ball more than Nurkic has this year. And he's also shown an ability to be a good passer. A couple of 5-assist games recently. And Jokic has turned some heads out there. Then you got the triumvirate, or maybe the 4 players, actually, for the Philadelphia 76ers eventually, with the 2 guys who are healthy and in uniform this year. Jahlil Okafor is a back-to-the-basket center. And Nerlens Noel, I mean, he's been playing power forward, but he's really a big man and a center. He's more of the DeAndre Jordan type, where he's going to set screens and play good defense, although he's been working on a jumper, and I wouldn't take it away from him to be able to develop it, as he's been working hard. But then, the two guys who may have even more potential are Joel Embiid, if he ever comes back from Qatar and can play, which we don't know, and Dario Saric, when he comes over from overseas. He's more of a power forward, I'll admit that, maybe even a small forward, but you know, he could play, I guess, center in today's NBA, and that's what we're looking at, these stretch fives. And the thing about these guys that's so special is a lot of these guys, or the best ones, the Turners, the Porzingis, Davis, Green, Cousins, Towns, right? Those guys, they can block shots as well as shoot threes. And the last couple of guys I just wanted to mention would be Bobby Portis, who I think is going to be a terror on the inside. He's not. I don't think he'll ever really be a great three-point shooter, but he'll be able to shoot some. He's not going to be a great defender either, but he'll do a decent enough job. I just think offensively he's very gifted. He can score from the post, from the mid-range area, and he's going to be able to score around 18, 19 points a game, I think, one day. And I think he's a very special player. And the last guy, I mean, yeah, he's not as young as these other guys, but it is his rookie year, and I think, I mean, if you don't love Boban Marjanovic, then I don't think you love basketball. I mean, he just looks like a stereotypical villain. He's not a pretty looking fella, but man, when you can dunk and not jump, it's something special. And if you guys haven't seen what he did to Okafor with his double pump fake move, which had Okafor in circles, you gotta find that gift somewhere. I mean, it is hilarious. But all right, guys, that's what I have to think about these new age centers. I think there's a ton of them. I mean, the guy I didn't even mention, I'll just throw him in here right now, is Dwight Powell, who I think can also come in, and he's been doing a great job with Dallas. But I want to keep this a little bit shorter, so I'm going to stop right there. Let me know what you guys think about some of the guys I mentioned. Did I miss anybody? Let me know. Comment, subscribe. Thank you very much.